What is up, nerds? It is me, Radio Matt, and I am here with your second White Rabbit update following our extensive White Rabbit clue review in our last podcast. I did the first update following last week's SmackDown, which was just after we had released the podcast. And now I am releasing update number dos following Raw on the night of October 3rd. It is after midnight where I am, as I have been compiling all of these codes from what I saw myself, as well as from several sleuths on Twitter. And so I think I have gotten every little clue from tonight that I can. So just like every night so far, there has been, since the QR code started showing up anyway, there have been 2 opportunities to catch the code. So tonight, the first QR code was another glitch on screen, similar to a couple weeks ago with Dominic Mysterio. And it happened while some of the female wrestlers were talking in the back. This group included Alexa Bliss. Before the QR code showed up, there was some wavy, transparent goop on the screen, almost completely clear, but very hint of it there. And at one point, there is very clearly a little Fiend-esque looking face right above Alexa Bliss's head. Nothing similar seemed to occur anywhere else on the screen, just in that one spot, and just for a split second. And of course, the last time we saw the Fiend, Alexa had essentially caused his loss at WrestleMania. Also, right before... Alexa, stop. Maybe I'll stop saying her name. Also, right before the code came on, there was a sound effect of a xylophone sliding down the keys briefly. It resembled sounds used in the Firefly Funhouse, though no one seems to have pinpointed that exact sound effect yet in any of the old episodes. I'm sure we will. It sounded very, very Firefly Funhouse to me. It was made to sound like a kid's show kind of thing, so they had those kind of weird noises, whistles, and whatnot. The second spotting of the QR code was on the back of the contract cover that Corey Graves was holding in the ring later that night for the ladder match coming up at Extreme Rules between Bianca Belair and Bayley. The code took you to a page with 3 elements on it. The first was a painting of Samson and Delilah at the top, which is notable again for Miss Bliss. As Bray Wyatt tweeted out on April 12th of 2021, a different painting of Samson and Delilah after she betrayed him at WrestleMania. And this picture required you to look it up on both a browser and a mobile device. And here's why. On a browser, you can click on the left side of the image, over here for you, left side of the image, and it would disappear and show you the first part of a URL. But you couldn't get the second side on the browser. You had to open it up on your phone. And on your phone, you could click the right side of the image, or over here for you, and then get it that way. And so putting the 2 pieces together, it gives you a full web address, which is www.com/ and then several numbers and letters, which were actually coordinates to the Wells Fargo Center, which is where Extreme Rules takes place this Saturday, where rumor has it that the White Rabbit will be revealed. Now, the web address takes you to another Samson painting of him knocking over pillars, the big conclusion of Samson's story in the Bible. On the bottom, there is a faint string of numbers, which is 69012092580022. Googling that number reveals it's actually the barcode number for a product called White Rabbit Milk, which is a product out of China. Beyond the fact that it is just a milk with the name White Rabbit on it, the brand of White Rabbit on it, I don't think there's any further hint. We had the White Rabbit records from the previous thing that, then that company tweeted out a video with another clue. I haven't seen anything like that with this yet. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's just at this point, nothing like that has been found. So let's go back to the original page from the QR code. The web address was actually a set of binary numbers that spelled out GACY. This is likely a reference to Joe Gacy from NXT, whom Bray Wyatt is often compared to. And at first glance, this looks like to be maybe another red herring. This is going to be like the call-up of Joe Gacy. But when you go to Joe Gacy's Twitter profile, his profile photo is him with his eyes scratched out with like X's. And that is how, if you recall, in the Firefly Funhouse, every single photo that was ever hung up, that's how it was presented. The eyes were scratched out. And I believe he put those up as he beat them. Like anytime he took down an opponent, their picture went up on the wall with their eyes scratched out. Also, Gacy's most recent tweet before Raw started, which came out just a few hours before Raw, was, I think it was about Game of Thrones or something, or not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. I don't know. It was about one of those popular shows that I don't watch. But he managed to put the phrase "let me in" the tweet. That might have just been a coincidence. I don't know, but it's a heck of a coincidence. But finally, as Raw was ending, and this one I don't think can be a coincidence, Gacy tweeted out these lyrics: "We take everything in sight, all through the night, leaving scars and crashing cars." These are lyrics from the song Fiend by Coal Chamber. Second part of the page from the QR code was several red blocks with weird coded symbols in them. This turned out to be Predator language from the movies, and at first glance this might seem like another red herring, talking about Randy Orton, who's been out of action for months now, and I'm sure we all want to see return. He's often referred to as the Apex Predator. However, this code has a straight one-to-one alphabet correlation and spells out, "Before me, things created were none, save things eternal, and eternal I endure. All hope abandon, ye who enter here." A quote from Dante's Inferno. The phrase, "abandon all hope, ye who enter here," which is the typical way people phrase it, was on the door of Firefly Funhouse, if you recall. The third part of the page that the QR code sent you to was a blue, like, magic eye, one of those, magic eye photos, which I initially tried to look at on my phone, and that was very painful, very difficult. I had to blow it up and get it on my computer to fully see it. And it read out a code MTA4MJL, which has found out to be base 64 code, which when decoded using UTF-8 source character set gives you 10822 or 10/8/22. The date of Extreme Rules is Saturday. Nothing earth shattering other than the fact that it's pointing to Extreme Rules and not SmackDown this Friday. What else? Just before the main event, when Corey Graves unknowingly held up the QR code, a fan directly behind him put on the Fiend mask in the crowd, and then just stayed like facing forward and not moving. It appeared to be perfectly timed with the QR code's appearance, as he wasn't spotted wearing it at any point in the 2+ hours prior. However, that also could have just been a coincidence. Who knows? The main event tonight was Alexa versus Io Sky, which I thought was going to be extremely notable, because it's rare that right now that you see Alexa in a main event, especially Raw, the flagship show. Alexa is a fantastic, one of my probably my favorite female wrestler today, and has been for years. But with the storyline that they've been going with her losing a step and struggling, I didn't expect to see this. She's also not, a champion of any sort. She hasn't been in a long time. Her character is very muddled, as she still has the weird doll that she used during Bray's extended absence, which was I didn't like it. I never liked Lily, the Lily aspect, the thing that they tried to do towards the end of that storyline. But she still has that, but she's not coming out to that old music. Her attire is like half old Alexa Bliss, half Fiendette Alexa Bliss. So I don't know. I just didn't. I expected the fact that she was in the main event to be something bigger with the storyline, for something to happen. So I was watching this closely. I expected at least a light flicker, just like her match a few weeks ago where the lights went out for just a second. It's like it was fade off, fade back on, which seemed to imply he's watching, But that did not happen. The only anomaly was that at some point the screen went purple for a split second. I have no idea if that was intentional or not, or if it was a legitimate glitch. I do know that everybody saw it. It wasn't just certain cable providers or whatnot. If it was intentional, I have no idea what that would mean. I don't feel like that would have the same kind of significance, symbolism as the lights going out and coming back on. So I don't know about that. Question mark on that. That might not be anything. But pulling at all the straws here, pulling at all the strings, seeing what unravels. But that is all that I could compile from what I've seen and what I found on Twitter since the show ended just a little while ago. I don't know if more is going to come out or not, but I feel like this is all the meat. This is all the main stuff. If there's any other small little rabbit trails out there, I can't imagine there'd be too much more deep. But again, all of this still very in my mind, and unless I'm just being brainwashed, and all of us are, very clearly is pointing to Bray Wyatt. I just don't see how at this point it could be anybody else. So we shall see, but I don't think we'll see on Friday, because each show, part of the clues have been pointing to the next show. But tonight, none of the clues, the dates, the location, none of that pointed to SmackDown. Instead, it all pointed to Extreme Rules, which will be happening the day after SmackDown. So it's possible that SmackDown, they're going to be White Rabbit free, which might make sense because it is the season premiere of SmackDown. So they might have a lot planned and they want to just keep it all focused on the show. But it's also very possible we'll still have like one more tease still pointing us to Extreme Days. Either way, I'll be on the lookout for it. If we have more stuff happen on SmackDown, I will give a quick update that night as well, leading into the pay-per-view. And of course, if something comes of Extreme Rules, which I think this confirms something will be coming from it, I will give you an update there. And if the person is revealed like the rumor has it, then that should be the final update, because this has all really just been about speculation of who this is. I hope you're enjoying this journey with me as I've enjoyed going through all this stuff. If you want to see all these images and stills and clips firsthand, I encourage you to go to Twitter and follow the hashtag White Rabbit. There's quite a few internet sleuths out there that are doing all this very, very hard work for us compilers to put together. So thank you to all of you guys out there creating clips and getting everything ready to go for us. As for now, I'm out. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you.